What a good year 2023 was for music, to be honest. So I think before the video I have to give a short disclaimer. I just want you to remember that music is subjective and you are free to call the best K-pop albums whichever you want to, but this is just my own and personal opinion which doesn't have any type of big influence or whatever. Just as last year, I tried summarizing all my favorite albums as concisely as I could. Despite that, I had to still divide the video into 2 parts, in which I'll talk about 6 different albums in each. There were so many good albums I wanted to talk about, and the fact I didn't include really popular ones here is mainly because I prefer giving exposure to others who may be more of like hidden gems. So without further ado, come and take a dive into the best K-pop albums of 2023. After having presented a really bubbly and bright sound through their previous works, this time, the group showed their hidden charms by bringing a more serious record through a variety of genres such as funk, R&B, city pop, and disco, mixed with some hints of Latin and jazz beats. In general terms, this album seems to be their most solid and cohesive work. Every song seems to be carefully selected to preserve the identity of the album, which is highlighting the matureness of the group. Maturing is commonly associated with aging, which often makes us think in gaining confidence through experience but also becoming milder and more calm. The album manages to portray this growth through the landscape of the tracks. The first 3 songs manage to show off the group's confidence as a product of years of experience, demonstrating that they don't have to perform the most hard-hitting song to be lethal, sassy, and bold. They're able to turn into femme fatale while still keeping style and classiness without forgetting to have fun. On the other hand, and as I expressed before, maturing also means becoming more prudent, and the rest of the songs are perfect to portray that feeling, as they take the excitement down and create a chill, soothing, and mesmerizing atmosphere thanks to the silkiness of their voices and the sultry yet dreamy vibe of the songs. This last section of the album I must say is my favorite, highlighting Vanilla Sugar Killer and Overdrive. This is BB's best work to date, and as the album's title implies, it managed to bring various sounds by still keeping a clear direction of what they wanted to present. Few albums achieve this level of cohesion, so it's definitely its strongest property. This album represents Minhyun's official debut as a soloist after the disbandment of New East, which of course was filled with expectations about what the artist was gonna present to the public eye. Despite not being that evident, this album's actually deeper in meaning, and more personal to the artist than what it could pretend, and it even has some artistry to it. But before getting into a deeper analysis, the album offers diverse genres that highlight Minhyun's natural elegance that go from sweet ballads and Afro-Cuban-based tracks, to bolder songs using R&B and dance pop. Minhyun expressed before how this album meant an inauguration and a reintroduction of himself, after having reflected on his evolution throughout the years, so the album develops around the dichotomy of truth and lie, about who is the real Minhyun and who isn't. During the first track, Honest, we can see the artist's most vulnerable side, a side that is scared of showing his true self as he feels lost and unsure. This represents a process that most solo artists tend to experiment while finding who they actually are, so that they can portray that image in their music. However, this is just the preface of the story, as immediately, Hidden Side shows the bolder side of Minhyun, where he's already confident in who he represents and therefore makes the other an invitation to come and find out the truth about him. During the rest of the tracks, this is the theme that keeps appearing, changing his attitude from being playful to seductive, while still making the other keep interest in him. However, the last track, Cube, is quite interesting to me, as it seems to flip the roles, as now Minhyun's trying to find the other person's colors, feeling empty and doubtful of his capacities. It's as if it was trying to imply that despite him already knowing who he is, at the end of the day, future is uncertain, and it's a process of searching for our true selves that lasts eternally. This is an album that managed to captivate Minhyun's essence and served as a good presentation card for his solo career, creating expectations of his process to keep discovering his true self. Definitely an album worth checking out if you enjoy a more mature sound.
와 조금씩 말해줘 이 순간 나만의 fantasy 너도 몰래 hush 나는 시끄러 수어버린 너 또다시 돌려봐도 centerpiece 어긋나버린 너무도 쉬웠던 대답 그조차 솔직하지 못해서 전부 느껴봐 hidden side 찾아내야 하는 hidden side 깊이 빠져들어 you want me 남김없이 전부 가져가 hidden side Gotta take it when we up, yeah.
After the underground idol project, in which every member managed to tell different stories of unblessed lovers throughout their solo songs, this EP stands as the culmination of it by bringing the entire group into singing about the reality that these couples experiment by living in a city like Seoul. Just as they make mention of it in the description of their MV, Seoul Collection is an album that tries to capture young people's stories of loneliness, solitude, and pain in a place like Seoul, a city of brilliant lights that may be the equivalent of hope and aspiration, but rather, they just manage to cover up the stories of those who wander feeling empty and lost. This EP is the voice of those people who tell their stories. The first narrative is a bold posture in which no matter what, the protagonist is certain about his identity and sick of prejudices he has already become unbreakable to others' opinions. It's almost like a cry of despair of somebody trying to tell his significant other that he's up to continuing their path together no matter what. Chrome Hearts, Soul Drift, and Candy Bomb take the task in expressing this by the hand of strong synths, industrial sounds, and EDM that go perfect with the powerful message. Nonetheless, this just opposes the other hand of the narrative, the one full of loneliness expressed beautifully through Mirage, Blue Blue Soul, and Nabi. These tracks are the relic of the album. Despite the delicate and pretty landscapes they create, their messages tell a completely different story. Jazz-inspired, Mirage stands as my favorite track of the album, which tells the story of a love that simply cannot be, a person who is fooled each and every time, falling into the same place where he can't reach his significant other and finds in despair due to the continuous hallucinations. Blue Blue Soul falls even deeper into the pain, as it expresses the affliction of holding to the memories of a love that has perished. Nabi shares a similar story in which unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to love and move away from it. These songs have amazing and beautiful lyrics in which the group contributed. Only one of keeps demonstrating themselves and to others their ability to express significant messages through various and interesting compositions, making of this record another piece of art.
내 머릿속 불러다니는 슬픔 함께 나를 위로하고 아껴주던 너를 위해 같은 맘이길 바란 내 욕심이 지쳐버린 네 표정이 사라져가 조금씩 멀어져도 다가가고 싶어 Can we make it 괜히 닿을 수 없는 그 세계에서 빠진 Spray your wings 가만히 don't fly away My hands are tied I better move I'ma be your ace undercover Look behind the walls for the things I want baby Want to see the honey on it 우리는 빛이 되어 get more freedom 정답은 나고 내 끌리는 길로 The way you're going is the real 여긴 soul dripped
Can you hear me? Let's go.
To be honest, I'm completely unaware of the storyline going on since their debut, and I know their lyrics play an important part in continuing the lore, but I'm not getting into unknown territory. Let's focus on the sound. If I'm completely honest, I don't have a clear idea of how to talk about this album. The overall experience feels like a dream. From the first track, their silky voices plus the strong bass line already set the mystical mood. Enchanted Night serves as a great opener that gives you the entrance to an unknown world. From here the rest of the tracks share the same groove, and its style reminiscence to the 80s and 90s funk disco pop with some hints of R&B. This is definitely a delight for those who love the retro sound, as the selection of synthesizers and bass lines feel really true to the era, mixed with the quality of modernity. And it's exactly the quality another of the strengths of the album. The production feels full and rich, it involves the listener in a whole experience, and the mixing is perfectly done, creating the perfect fusion between voices and instrumentals, adding beautiful harmonies that surround you. The overall album follows a clear direction music-wise, becoming Billy's best work to date. It's an album that doesn't need too much explanation or analysis behind, as the only way to understand how great it is just listening to it. Expect to listen to an album full of groove that will keep you swaying your body from left to right.
I got chills in tonight. Tired of freaking, tired of dreaming. Wanna make it. 내게 lion heart. 깨어난 나의 힘, my lion heart. Cause you were so special.
If I'm completely honest, when the subunit was announced I didn't have much interest in it due to the numerous ones that already exist, and that despite having their own individuality, they mostly share a similar music identity. However, I must say I was gladly surprised when I listened to the title track, and even more when I played the rest of the album. Consisting of a total of 6 tracks, this album explores the R&B genre by telling the story of a love that eventually has consumed, mixing it with powerful vocals, beautiful harmonies, and a high-quality production that characterizes NCT. The first part of the album pictures the blooming of love as Perfume, an R&B track leaned more towards electropop, introduces us to the beginning of courtship, the yearning to make the other fall in love through your fragrance. After that, Kiss and Dive keep on with the same genre, mixing it with some jazz and pop hints, which express the insatiable desires between the lovers, the moment when the emotions burst and the relationship is full of a burning passion. It isn't until Strawberry Sunday that love seems to acquire another meaning, in which also represents the admiration and care you have with your partner. The responsibility you get with the other seems to indicate how the relationship has matured and both lovers have truly understood the value of each other. However, things do not always work the way we wish they did, and the burning passion that existed has cooled down. Everything changes and leads to a point where the relationship is ending. Can We Come Back, a pure R&B song, captures the desire to go back to how things used to be, while Ordinary gives closure to the story with a more insightful point of view of the relationship, as it's almost like a resignation letter, a ballad that seems to point out how he'll feel when his significant other is no longer with him. Despite all of the songs having an R&B base, the album remains interesting as they incorporate other genres and play with different beats that make everything feel like various shades of the same color, leading to cohesion, without forgetting to tell a story in between. This album managed to enhance the group's abilities and made of this one of the most enjoyable works from NCT. Really anticipate what they'll be presenting us in the future.
건넨 평범한 말 안녕.
This has to be one of the best albums ever, and yeah, don't dare to speak before listening to the songs, just let me talk. This album has a song for each type of person, something that can fit into most people's tastes by offering a diversity of genres that include dance pop, R&B, synth pop, funk, UK garage, electropop, rock pop, among other subgenres that we could study. Despite that, the album feels like an only set. Each track contributes to the group's sound and the message they're trying to imply, which is identity. This is a letter to self-love and embracing who we truly are. Before analyzing the meaning of the album, I'd like to point out that this work represents Froma's epitome throughout the years, where they've been constantly evolving and maturing their sound to finally be able to release their first full-length album, which showcases the girls' abilities, versatility, and an insane quality production-wise. These tracks don't feel just high quality, they feel refined and expensive. The work behind them is just amazing, and the way the tracks were written and composed is so neat. Props to the producers and also to the girls who participated in the production and writing of some of them. So now, getting into the story the album is trying to convey, the title track, Me Now, is the prime example of what the rest of the songs are about, as it introduces us to the girls' desire of not wanting to hide who they truly are anymore. Just as the name of the album implies, their world has been unlocked and they're ready to show themselves without fear. This confidence shows through the most powerful songs as Attitude, Don't Care, and What I Want. However, they keep talking about this theme through different branches than just confidence, as can be seen in Wishlist, in which they criticize what people look for in another person as if they were just a shopping list, and how some end up trying to actually mold themselves to fit into that list. In the Mirror, seems like a continuation of the same plot as they sing about forgetting your true self after living under the stereotypes and prejudices that are set by the others. Lyric-wise, the album is full of really meaningful messages, but sonically it feels like a roller coaster of emotions that mixes in a balanced way songs for different moods, with various genres, BPMs, and compositions. If I were to mention my favorite tracks, they would be the entire album, cause honestly it is a no-skip. Better than saying it with words, let yourself immerse into the music and test it yourself. With this work, Fromiz solidifies their discography, and I'm more than excited to see how they will continue developing in the future. Well, just if Pledis decides to give them a proper promotion. However, enjoy the music.